Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and I'm back with another recap. Can you believe it? Zatima is back. Zatima is back. Oh, so let's get into it. So we got season 2, episode 11, Out of Love. So let's get into it. I'm super excited, like super excited. Let's get into it. So Fatima and Zach deal with the fallout of their relationship. Zach is home, sitting in the chair. Then next thing you know, Fatima and Angela come in the house, and Fatima just wants to go upstairs and get her stuff. And Zach was like, "No, we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it." So Fatima tells Zach that his mother told her that he slept with Connie. So that really set Fatima off. And then Zach said something, and then Fatima was like, "Yeah, you just like her. You gonna listen to something your mother said?" It was like, "My mother, she's off limits. She's off limits." So then Zach was like, "Listen, I'm not gonna talk about it." He was mad, full of rage and whatever. So then Fatima took her chair and threw her pocketbook and her phone on the table. Was like, "Nah, we're gonna talk about it." So she crossed her legs and sat down. And then Zach says some things like, "What are your deal breakers? Like, you say you don't lie, you don't cheat." Next, you know, Fatima pulls off the ring and she throws it. He was like, "You gonna throw my ring? All right, Fatima, get out. You got to get out. You got to go take her and you got to go." Like, he really just flipped the script. And they was like, "Listen." She was like, "So I don't deserve the way you've been treating me. Like, I show you nothing but love and respect, and you don't respect me. I deal with all the baby mama drama, Karen, all this stuff. Like, this is not what I signed up for." And she was like, "You know what? F you." And she just got her stuff and left. Like, oh my gosh, that scene was so, like, emotional to watch, because it's like, dang, I ain't never seen Fatima flip the script on Zach like that ever. That boy was going through it. So after she left with Angela, Zach, he had to scream it out because it was just like, dang, what the heck? Like, so he ends up kicking the chair and stuff around, and then it's just like, dang, they're really over. Whew. So now they go home and I guess sleep it off. So now it's the next day. Fatima's mom and her dad are talking, and he was like, "So where are you going?" And her mother was like, "Well, I was going to get ready to go see Fatima before she get ready to go to work and whatnot." Next thing you know, because they knew that they broke up or whatever. So the mother was like, "Dang, I already knew that wasn't going to last." And like, "Dang, you were like a negative Nancy." But just as she did that, Fatima comes walk on the door and she tells her mom that they went over and she needs to go upstairs to get some things. But her mom told her like, "This, all that stuff you guys owe." And then Fatima was like, "Well, I'll just go to my storage then," and stuff like that. So after that, she got up and she left to go to work. Meanwhile, let me see, Zach, he's now at his office with Bryce, but in his office. And Bryce comes in, and right now you could tell Zach is in the mood. And it's like Bryce is still trying to be head forward on this daggone property that they had to go see with another investor or whatever the case may be. And Zach really not up for it. He was like, "Well, listen, I got this. I want you to check it out," and stuff like this. And just like, Bryce, you like trying to like, you're not even being comforting at this moment. You're just worried about the money. When you're not even seeing that your boy is in a time of need, and you like just let it go over your head and talking about this property that he ain't even worried about at the moment. He worried about his girl. and what really happened the night before and stuff like that, because it was crazy. So just then, as he was talking about that, Nate and Tony walks in, and then they was talking to Bryce about how they haven't seen him in a minute. He was like, listen, I just been busy and stuff like that. And so Zach was just like, yeah, whatever. So eventually they all said their piece, and then Bryce leaves. And then Nate and Tony sit down, and they was talking to Zach about how Fatima done changed her profile to single. And he was like, oh, word, okay. And Zach told Tony and Nate that, like, listen, she got mad because supposedly my mom told her that me and Connie had sex. And Nate was like, did you? And Tony was like, no, he didn't. And Nate and Tony was going back and forth with, yeah, Lori be complaining about you being 10 minutes. Me and Zach ain't on that type of time. And they was like, you always say you got a girl, but where's she at though? And then Zach was like, yeah, you're right, you got a point. It was like Zach attack. And he was like, yeah, Zach attack is back. So now they plan on going out tonight. And that was that. So Fatima's back home after getting off work, and she is greeted by Angela having a drink. So Fatima was like, yeah, we're really over. We should go have a girls' night out, get some drinks and dinner, stuff like that, smoke a little. And so Fatima decides to call up Paul, and she was like, okay, we could go out tonight and have some drinks and stuff like that. And then Fatima also asked Paul if he had a friend for Angela. Angela was like, yeah, hopefully somebody that's fine, as cute as you. And she was like, yeah, I got that. So next thing you know, they go have a little bit of wine, and then they decide that why are we still sitting? So they get up and get dressed, and they head to the club where they were going to. And they get there, they all four of them, Fatima, Paul, Angela, and this dude, Sam, Paul's friend. They're talking, have a good time. And then next thing you know, while they're talking, Belinda comes up on the stage. I don't know why they didn't hear her first offhand, but whatever. Angela noticed. She was like, Fatima, look. So Fatima gets up and stands with Angela. And then Belinda was like, I guess she was like the host of the show. So she gets up and was like, oh, isn't that my two girlfriends, Angela and Fatima? I thought it would be a special treat that one of my friends, get up here and sing for you. Fatima, come on up here. And at first she was like, this. You could see it in Fatima's face, like she was like, this bitch, I do not mess with you. Why are you trying to drag me down with this negativity? But whatever. And then as she was about to leave, she turned around and she notices Zach, Nate, and Tony standing behind her. She was like, you know what? I'll sing. So she gets up to the stage and she decides to sing Alicia Keys' song, Fallen. And she looked directly at Zach as she sung it. She did her thing. Everybody was happy, clapping and like, oh my God, she could really sing. Nate and Tony didn't think that she could sing like that, but in real life she can sing. Okay, she can sing. She got a voice. So after she did her performance, Belinda was like, okay, you did good, girl. Hopefully we can become back friends. And yeah, Fatima was like, yeah, whatever. So then she grabs her purse or whatever, and then she says, Paul, let's go. And she looks at Zach as she leaves. And then next year, Angela and Sam gets up and leave. No, Angela and Sam are still sitting there talking. Next, Zach comes up to Angela, was like, where's Fatima? Is she staying with you? She didn't say nothing, but she was like, yeah, that's all right. So then Tony left to go. Tony and Zach were talking. Then next, Belinda pulls up, and Nate was like, hey, this is the girl I'm talking to. He was like, oh, not again. So now Nate finds out that Zach had a one-time occurrence with Belinda and stuff like that. So Tony offers Zach a ride because he rode with them. So Nate and Belinda stay and talk, but I guess she filled him in on the details between Zach and her. So, yeah. That was that episode. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this recap. Y'all stay tuned for more, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.